Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm recapping a slasher horror supernatural horror film called Tarot. Get ready because spoilers are coming your way, so keep your eyes wide open and stay safe. The movie starts with a shot of a spooky mansion sitting deep in the Catskills. A group of college friends has gathered there to celebrate Elise's birthday. We meet Haley, Grant, Paxton, Paige, Elise, Madeline, and Lucas, who all seem ready for a fun weekend getaway. They've rented out this huge mansion for the occasion. While playing a drinking game, things start to get awkward. Haley and Grant, who were dating, quietly spill the beans to their friends. They broke up on the drive to the mansion. Haley tells the girls, and Grant breaks the news to the guys. It's clear they feel like they're heading in different directions, but the group tries to keep the mood light for Elise's birthday. After running out of beer, the friends start searching through the mansion, hoping to find some hidden drinks. They explore every corner until they stumble upon a restricted room that catches their attention. Inside, they discover a collection of strange artifacts and, most importantly, a wooden box with a zodiac wheel on it. When they open the box, they find a deck of hand-painted tarot cards. The group convinces Haley to do their tarot readings since she knows a lot about cards. Even though she feels something might be off, Haley agrees to give it a try. She starts with Elise, who pulls the High Priestess card. Haley tells her that she will be climbing a ladder, but she should slow down. Next up is Madeline, who draws the Hanged Man. Haley warns her that Pisces, her zodiac sign, tends to run from danger. Paige gets the Magician card and is told that a big change is coming her way. Lucas pulls the Hermit and learns he will gain great wealth and possibly find love, hinting that he and Madeline might like each other. Then it's Paxton's turn, and he draws the Fool. Haley tells him he will surprise his friends in unexpected ways. Even though Grant doesn't want to play, Haley does his reading anyway. He pulls the Devil card and gets a chilling warning. He might lose someone very close to him. Finally, Haley does her own reading and pulls the Death card. With a sigh, she jokes that love will be the death of her. Just as the friends start to laugh and relax, the atmosphere shifts. Suddenly, a series of disturbing images flash on screen, showing some kind of ancient evil waking up. The fun birthday weekend is about to take a dark turn. The group leaves the spooky mansion and heads back to their campus, still buzzing from their strange night. On their way, Lucas makes a stop at a gas station and scratches off a lottery card. To his surprise, he wins a whopping $700. Everyone is excited for him as they continue their journey home. Once back, Paige and Elise chat on the phone, and it's clear they're dating. But while they're talking, Elise suddenly hears some weird noises coming from her attic. Curious and a bit nervous, she notices that the ladder to the attic has come down. Feeling brave, she decides to investigate. As Elise climbs up, she spots a shadow moving around in the dim light. She looks down for just a second, but when she looks back up, her eyes widen in shock. Candles are lit everywhere, casting flickering shadows all around her. In a terrifying moment, she sees a monstrous version of the High Priestess from her tarot card. This vision is far from friendly. It sends chills down her spine, and she loses her grip, falling from the ladder. The High Priestess then slams the ladder down onto Elise's body, crushing and impaling her in a horrifying scene. The fun night has turned into a nightmare, and the evil they awakened is coming to claim its victims. Elise's friends are heartbroken, especially Paige, who can't stop crying over her loss. They gather together to mourn, sharing stories and memories of their dear friend. Haley stays by Paige's side, trying to comfort her during this sad time. To help ease Paige's pain, Haley opens up about her own past. She explains that she got into tarot readings when her mother was sick with cancer. Haley was desperate to find any sign of hope or good fortune, but each time she did a reading, it only showed death. This dark revelation weighs heavy on both of them, making it clear that the cards might hold a deeper meaning than they realized. As they grieve together, they can't shake the feeling that something sinister is still lurking nearby. The bond between them grows stronger, but the shadow of Elise's tragic fate hangs over their hearts, leaving them to wonder what's next. Lucas walks Madeline back to her place, and there's a little spark in the air between them. They seem like they might want to act on the romantic side of their tarot reading, but instead, they share a warm hug. After that sweet moment, Lucas heads to the subway station, feeling a mix of emotions. Once at the station, Lucas starts to feel uneasy. He gets a creepy feeling that he's being watched. Suddenly, he sees the Hermit from his tarot reading, lurking in the shadows. This strange figure seems to stalk him as he walks through the busy station. In a panic, Lucas runs and accidentally wanders into a restricted rail yard. He looks around, confused and scared, when the Hermit suddenly corners him inside an old, inactive train. Lucas is terrified and feels trapped. In a moment of sheer fright, he stumbles backward and falls out of the train just as an incoming train rushes by. The scene is shocking and intense. Lucas's fate hangs in the balance, and it seems like the the dark powers of the tarot cards are coming for him, just like they did with Elise. Haley begins to piece together a terrible truth. The deaths of Elise and Lucas are linked to their tarot readings. Feeling a sense of urgency, she starts doing some research and discovers a woman named Alma Astrom, who knows a lot about deaths connected to tarot cards. Determined to find answers, Haley brings Grant, Paxton, Paige, and Madeline along to visit Alma. At first, Alma turns them away, thinking they're just another group of curious teens. But when Haley opens up about the terrible things they are going through, Alma's expression softens, and she decides to let them in. Once inside, Alma quickly figures out that the deaths are tied to specific tarot cards from the same box they found. She warns them that every time someone has done a reading with these cards, the results have been deadly. Alma reveals that she is the only survivor of a series of deaths caused by these cards in London. She tells the teens a chilling story from the 1700s. A wealthy count had called upon an astrologer to do a reading because his wife and child were very sick, but the astrologer could only draw cards that foretold death. When the countess and her child eventually passed away, the count, in his anger, accused the astrologer of witchcraft. He had his men hang her daughter as punishment. Filled with rage and sorrow, the astrologer placed a curse on the cards and took her own life, binding her spirit to the deck. In her last act of vengeance, she did a reading on the count and his men, leading to their horrific deaths. Hearing this, Alma suggests the teens must find the cursed deck and destroy it before more lives are lost. The urgency of their mission sinks in as they realize the danger is far from over. Paige decides to rebook the creepy mansion so they can go back and destroy the cursed tarot deck. As they drive there, a chill runs through the group. They can't help but feel scared, wondering which one of them might be the next victim of the deadly cards. While crossing a long bridge, suddenly, Grant's car begins to slow down, and then it powers down completely. The teens exchange worried glances, unsure of what's happening. Then, Madeline looks at the foggy window and gasps. She sees an image of the hanged man from her tarot reading. Fear grips her heart as she realizes she is next. Madeline remembers that her reading warned people like her to run from danger, but the others quickly come up with a plan. They suggest doing the opposite of what the reading said to try and trick fate and avoid disaster. But in a panic, Madeline leaps out of the car anyway, and Haley, wanting to help her friend, runs after her. As Grant, Paxton, and Paige try to figure out what to do, another spirit suddenly attacks. Terrified, they flee the car, leaving the eerie scene behind. Madeline runs as fast as she can, but just as she thinks she's escaped, the hanged man lowers his noose and grabs her by the neck. Her friends can only watch in horror as she is hanged right in front of them. The fear and sadness fill the air as they realize the darkness of the tarot cards is coming for them one by one. As Haley, Grant, and Paige decide to go back to the mansion to confront the evil tarot deck, Paxton suddenly makes a choice to ditch them. He tells them he's going back to campus instead. Once he arrives, he starts to feel uneasy, like someone or something is watching him. Before he knows it, he is being stalked by the Fool. This creepy figure giggles maniacally, making Paxton's heart race as he runs into a nearby building. Paxton rushes into an elevator, hoping to escape the madness, but as he stands there, he notices the Fool's mask changing expressions, showing a mix of joy and terror. The laughter echoes in his ears, making him feel even more afraid. Just as the doors start to close, the Fool somehow manages to get into the elevator. Paxton feels the tension rise as the Fool lunges toward him, and he knows he is in serious danger. Panic sets in as he realizes he may not be safe after all. The other three friends finally make it back to the spooky mansion, feeling a mix of hope and fear. They search the place and find the cursed tarot deck. Without wasting any time, they throw the deck into the fireplace, but to their shock, the cards do not burn. Just then, Alma arrives to help them. Together, they decide to try a seance, hoping to contact the spirit of the astrologer. As they sit in a circle, Alma tries to reach out to the ghostly presence. Suddenly, the astrologer's spirit takes over, and she does a reading for Alma, pulling the Six of Swords card. In an instant, Alma is pulled into a dark void. When she finally reappears, the friends are horrified to see that she is dead, with 6 swords sticking out of her back. Fear grips Haley and Grant as they realize they must run for their lives. Meanwhile, Paige finds herself alone, lost in the chaos. As she tries to escape, she suddenly becomes the target of the magician. He corners her in a strange room that feels like a twisted stage. Before she knows it, Paige is trapped in a box, and the audience around her gasps in excitement. With a flick of his wrist, the magician starts his act, using Paige as his unwitting assistant. The audience watches in horror as she gets sawed in half, leaving the remaining friends in shock and terror. The danger is closing in, and the darkness of the tarot cards is claiming its victims one by one. Haley and Grant huddle together in fear, trying to stay quiet as they wait for the terrifying figures to find them. Haley takes a deep breath and confesses that before they even started dating, she did a tarot reading. The cards warned her that their relationship wouldn't last, but she chose to ignore it because she really liked him. Then, right before they broke up, she did another reading and got the same scary message. She wishes she had listened to the cards now. Suddenly, the room feels colder, and the devil appears, creeping closer and closer. In a flash, he pulls Grant through a window, and Haley screams in horror as she realizes she is all alone. Just when she thinks it can't get worse, she feels a chilling presence behind her. It's death, stalking her like a shadow. Panic sets in as she understands that the cards have come to life, and danger is right on her heels. Haley knows she has to act fast. She races to the tarot deck, her heart pounding in her chest, and realizes that the only way to break the curse is to perform the astrologer's reading. Taking a deep breath, she draws the death card for the astrologer, but instead of feeling scared, she uses this moment to let go of the sadness she has been holding on to since her mother passed away. "You have to let go of your grief too," she says, hoping to reach the astrologer. She understands that they both have lost someone special, and that it's time to find peace. Just then, Grant bursts in, ready to protect Haley from the lurking darkness. As Haley continues the reading, a surge of energy fills the room, making everything shake. With a bright flash, the astrologer's spirit is destroyed, and the cursed cards catch fire, lighting up the room with an orange glow. In the midst of all the chaos, there's a brief moment where we see the astrologer smiling as she reunites with her daughter in the afterlife. It's a beautiful sight, filled with love and warmth, showing that even in darkness, there is a chance for healing and letting go. Haley breathes a sigh of relief, knowing she has finally put an end to the curse. Haley and Grant stroll away from the creepy mansion, holding hands tightly as they feel the weight of the night lift off their shoulders. Suddenly, they spot a car coming towards them, and their hearts race with fear. Oh no, is it another spirit? They worry, glancing at each other nervously. But then, to their surprise, the car door swings open, and out steps Paxton, looking alive and well. They rush over to him, hugging him tightly with tears of joy in their eyes. They realize that his reading about coming through for his friends in an unexpected way has come true. As they walk back together, Paxton shares his story. "I survived because my roommate Todd opened the elevator door right when the fool was about to get me," he explains, his eyes wide with excitement. With the dark curse finally lifted, Grant smiles and says, "You know, maybe we really can change our fates." Haley grins back at him, feeling free for the first time in a long while. "Forget fate," she exclaims boldly. They all laugh, knowing they have faced their fears together and come out stronger on the other side. Which movie should we recap next? Drop your suggestions in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more movie recaps. Thanks for watching. Produced by Warner Talks.